Oh, we got a drift going! This is probably where I should have had a helmet on! This feels like a crazy carnival ride. This is slightly scary and terrifying and fun all at the same time. I think everyone should try this. It's pretty much guaranteed you're gonna crash at some point, but it's a lot of fun. It could be the greatest, most terrible idea I've ever had. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Because there's no brakes in the back because my wheels are on these dollies that are normally used for moving bikes around. And the Trike, because it's front wheel drive, the motor still works, but when you go to stop, like this, it just swings the back end around. I'm getting the hang of it, I think. Some people have asked if we should start making drift trikes, and if this is any indication of the answer, maybe it's no. Although that was pretty good right there. Whoa. This is one scenario where an electric bike, where pedal assist doesn't help you get more range. There we go. I'm getting it figured out! Whoa! So this is where 500 watts is not only enough, it's way more than enough. I think the fastest I've managed to go, well, right now we're registering 0, like 2 miles an hour, 4. Sorry, GoPro. Yeehaw! Stable, even on 2 wheels. This is the only 3-wheeled electric bike that I have at the moment, and this, like every other electric bike that I have, is named after another airplane. Now, I had to be a little bit creative here because it's got 3 wheels. It's sort of a cargo bike, but sort of not. What do I call this thing? So I decided to name it after the biggest airplane, or one of the biggest, the C5 Galaxy. It has a really nice big basket, so great for hauling things on the back. And it also has a basket on the front. And can this thing actually haul stuff? Definitely yes. Since I've had the Trike here as my demo bike, I've actually used it quite a bit. I've had this bike here since last year, and when we had the power outages, I actually used it for running up and down to the airport up the road here to get gas to run our generators to keep the power on. I was able to put 2 5-gallon gas cans in the back and a 3rd gas can in the front. And often I do actually use this to run to the local UPS store and drop off packages. So it's been a ton of fun and really, really useful to have around. Now I know that was a whole bunch of fun earlier, drifting the Trike around. That was completely ridiculous, and you'd never want to actually do that because that seemed almost impossible to control. But under normal circumstances, the bike is, or the Trike I should say, is very stable and easy to ride. Now you'll see that it is, of course, a step-through frame, so it's very, very easy to get on and off. And like the cargo bikes we have and our Crusader step-through bike, it's a very upright seating position. So the seat can go down fairly low and the handlebars can adjust up and down. So that way, there we go. So you can get into a very nice, upright, comfortable position when you ride it. Now, funny enough, this is actually a folding Trike as well. So there's a hinge point right here for the handlebars to fold down off to the side, and there's a hinge point in the middle. Under normal circumstances, you're not gonna fold it that often. I don't find that function terribly useful, especially because you can't really roll the bike around in its folded form. But if you need to fold the Trike up to fit it into your RV or the back of a vehicle, then you can do that. And that's where it is handy. I have seen some people actually put the Trike into the back of a truck, for example, that has a camper shell, and they don't fold the middle hinge point, they just fold the one up here. That gets the handlebars down low and it makes the Trike relatively short. Now I do want to mention as well, since we're talking about the size and kind of how it folds and how it fits, the rear wheels, although it's fairly wide, it is narrow enough to fit through a standard doorway. So if you have just a standard front door, garage door, or shop door, somewhere where you want to put this inside, it will fit through a door. There's just a little bit of clearance and it will go through there. As far as the accessories go and what comes with the Trike, it comes exactly like you see it right here, minus the GoPro on the front, of course. It has a 48 volt, 12.5 amp hour battery, and it has a front 500 watt hub motor. Now it's a pretty torquey little motor, so it makes it up any hills just fine. I've seen some other people have 750 watt Trikes, and to be honest, this one, if you just hit the throttle, will actually spin the front tire, as you probably saw earlier. It has no trouble doing that. So any more power, in my opinion, kind of would have gone to waste because you can hardly put the power down as it is. Now this isn't an all-wheel drive Trike, but it is kind of a two-wheel drive Trike. So we have the motor up front, and then when you're pedaling, that's actually driving the 7-speed drivetrain Shimano setup in the rear, and it's kind of tucked into the middle of the bike there. But effectively, you are turning one of the rear wheels, not both. And the reason that is done that way is it's kind of like a differential in your car. It makes it easier for the Trike to steer, and it makes the handling better. So you've got one rear drive wheel and a front drive wheel. So it actually goes off-road decently well. I've actually tested this out in the wintertime in the snow in the front of the shop. If it's super thick, it can't get too far, but a little bit of sand or snow, it can actually go through just fine because it does have fat tires on it. Now, I was talking about the accessories like the baskets and things. Like I said, everything comes just like this. It has the front and rear fenders, which are made out of metal and very sturdy. Taillight is actually a functioning brake light. It has disc brakes. They are mechanical. This is another one of those where you could upgrade to those mechanical hydraulic calipers if you wanted to, but it actually has 3 disc brakes. You have one on each rear wheel, and that is controlled by the right lever, just like the right brake on any other bicycle. And then your front wheel has a disc brake as well. And if you've been paying attention to the slope of where we're filming right here, you may have noticed that the Trike isn't rolling anywhere. And you might be wondering how that's possible. And that's because it is a Trike, it has 3 wheels. If you're on anything other than a flat surface, it's gonna roll around. So it has parking brakes, both front and rear. They're super easy to use. Let me show you how that works right here. So here for the rear brake, you just squeeze this, push this little lever in, and now the parking brake is on for the rear wheels, and we have the same thing for the front. But that way you don't have to worry about the bike rolling around on you, and you can very easily release these when you're ready to ride. For the screen, we have a basic black and white display. It has all of the basic functions that most e-bikes need. Of course, you have your battery level in the upper right corner. This is a brake symbol. That's just symbolizing that our brake is on, which we have our parking brake on. Our pedal assist levels, which are 0 through 5. We have a trip meter and odometer that can be cycled through. And then we have our average speed, current speed, maximum speed. And then to turn on the lights, both the headlight and the tail light that I mentioned, you just hold this plus button for a few seconds. And this Trike is not made to go super fast, but as I said, it has plenty of torque. So you can see we're going uphill, and I can use the throttle, the pedal assist. Has plenty of low-end power for going up the hill. Sometimes people worry about the stability of a 3-wheeled Trike, so just to prove that the bike is nice and stable and very easy to ride, you may notice that I'm actually going down this hill backwards. If you know of someone who has stability issues or balance issues, and they just need a 3-wheeled bicycle, or if you just want something that's really good at hauling lots of stuff, then go to Bolton e-bikes and check out the Galaxy Trike. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching another one of my videos. I hope you enjoyed this slightly unorthodox review of the Galaxy Trike.